Hi everybody, we're going to be doing a tutorial on how to make homemade pasta even if you don't have any fancy tools like a KitchenAid stand mixer or even a hand crank pasta roller. I'm going to show you guys how to do it all, and hopefully this doesn't look like shit. First off, 70% alcohol. Clean your surface. You always want to start with a clean surface. I'm mainly just going to be using this area right here, so I don't have to clean literally everything again because I already cleaned it about 10 minutes ago. But here we go. Alright, first things first, you make a little pile of flour. Right there. And maybe a little bit more. Alright. This is not an exact science, nor am I professional. But you make it into like a volcano. So you just make a kind of well in the center. And that's going to be important for, where you put the egg. Alright, got one egg. We're going to crack it and put it in. Can't do it all one-handed, so I'm going to stop the video and then we're going to restart with the egg in the well. Alright, the egg is in the well and it spilled out a little bit, so we're going to just kind of mush it around a little bit. Don't worry. As you saw before, we cleaned everything, so I'm just using this chopstick to incorporate the flour into the egg. Screw the chopstick. Alright, I'm going to use my fingers to incorporate the flour into the egg, because that's how I was taught how to do it. So you just keep on swirling it around, and you see that it gets thicker and thicker. This takes time, so we'll pause and then pick up once it gets closer to the end. Alright, so I've mixed it around a lot and it started to form into a dough ball, so I just keep on pressing it down, folding it over, and basically just kneading it. Fold and press. Fold and press. You just keep on doing that until it gets really firm and it's not really sticking to anything or you anymore. And you just keep on doing it and then pick it up off of the table and start using both hands to fold and press. Fold and press. This will be easier with two hands, so I'm going to stop recording. Alright, so we're pretty much set. This has been well kneaded. It's not really sticky anymore. It's just nice and doughy. Take this and put it into either some saran wrap, a plastic bag, a Ziploc bag, any sort of thing that'll just keep it kind of covered and airtight, and throw it in the fridge to let it rest for about an hour to 2 hours, and then through the magic of television, I'll come back once it's rested. Okay, so one thing that I forgot to do while I was mixing it up was add a little bit of salt, a little bit of olive oil, and honestly, if you want, you can add stuff like black pepper or saffron. This one I added saffron. Those are those orange pieces. Saffron adds like a really nice, like kind of florally flavor and scent to the pasta. It's really nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll this out, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. Alright, here we have a bottle of wine, which I'm sure most of my friends have readily available, or a bottle of booze will work just as well, as long as it's not a weird shaped bottle. So here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to roll out the dough. And I already did use the isopropyl alcohol on this to make sure that this was all sterile. Alright, cool. I'll start rolling and pick up in a few seconds. Alright, now after a few minutes of rolling it out and flouring it and then flipping it over, it has become, I don't know, for me, thin enough. You can take a look. It's not like you can see through it really, but it's pretty thin. And the next thing you just got to do is cut the noodles. And this is not an exact science, so you can kind of use whatever you want, but I like to be a little bit more futuristic about it. So give me a second. I don't know if you can read that, but yeah. Starship Enterprise pizza slicer. Alright, now we've got, I'm just going to be using a pizza slicer, but let's divide it in two, and then we're going to go from there. Alright, so you don't have to use a lot of pressure, and just kind of, you know, it's easier with two hands, but you know, just start cutting pieces of pasta. Not a lot of pressure is needed because it's pretty thin. Alright, so that's the example with using a pizza slicer. We're gonna grab a knife real quick and just show you how to do it with a knife. Alright, we're going to cut this with a knife. Once again, this is me doing it one-handed, so it's a lot easier if you have two hands to be able to do this with. Alright, there's another one. There you go. Who cares about that? Alright, and then here we go, third one. So you can get like thicker pasta noodles, usually, if you're just doing it like this, then if you use a pasta maker, which will be the next video that I do. But you know, it kind of looks good. It's a little bit more rustic. Let me get something else to cut with. Alright, now worst case scenario, if you don't have a sharp knife or the Starship Enterprise pizza slicer, I'm going to show you how to do it just by using a butter knife. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're just going to kind of fold it over on itself and kind of roll it. And because it's been well floured, it's not sticking to itself. So you got that roll. You know, it's not perfect, but who cares? And simply just go like that. Normal butter knife, and then pick it up and unroll it. Once again, easier with two hands. There you go. There's another noodle right there. Alright. Quick little side note. Now there's two things you can do. You can just throw this pasta that's, you know, nicely dusted with the flour right into the boiling water. Or if you're not hungry right now, or if you made more than what you think would be a good one serving, you want to hang it so that it dries. It'll just air dry in about a day, and then you can put it in a Ziploc bag and it stores for, now usually I eat it in a couple days, but it'll store for a little bit. And I'm going to show you how to easily rig up something to let it hang. Alright, so easiest thing, chopstick or wooden spoon or something like that under something heavy enough to hold it, like a glass bowl. And you just take your pasta and drape it over. It's literally that simple. You can have them touching, they're not going to stick. And then you come back later, they'll be nice and dried. You can take them, put them in a Ziploc bag, and you're all good. Alright, so first things first, you're going to get a pot with some water in it. And you're going to start it, going to get it boiling. And one really important thing is you need to salt your water. And it's not like you're seasoning, you know, like a steak or something. You really got to add a decent amount of salt to the water. because you want to do that. Trust me, it'll make it better. Alright, then just bring this up to a boil, and we'll come back when it's boiling. Alright, we are boiling, so I'm going to add the pasta. Pasta into water. I'm going to stir it around just a little bit, make sure nothing clumps up. Now, one of the things that's going to happen, because there was flour on the outside, is that when it comes right back up to a boil, it's probably going to boil over. So you got to keep a little bit of an eye on it. When you see it start to froth and boil up, just turn the heat down a little bit and you'll be all good. So I'm not going to make us watch this do nothing for 3 minutes, so see you in a few. Okay, and it just did the boil over. I missed it, but you know, it's nothing horrible. It's just water with a little bit of starch from the flour on it. It's not going to kill anything or anybody. But yeah, now we just have I'd say about 60 more seconds until it's done. And the way I determine that it's done is I take out a little piece, cool it off for a second, and try it. Because yeah, that's what you just got to do. Alright, so I just tested it, and you know, bit a little piece off. A little bit chewy, so it just needs a few more seconds, and it's about to bubble over, so turn the heat down, and it won't. There you go. You can turn it back up. Yeah, so I think it's about done now. Alright, and just in case you don't have a colander or strainer or anything like that, we're going to do this without it this time, just to show you that it can be done. Alright, so an easy way to do it is to get a spoon, chopstick, something like that, and just slow and just pour. Nice and easy. One of the other nice things about saffron is it gives it those like orange like color bursts that are in it. Alright, so we are pretty much drained, and we're gonna get a we're gonna get a pan heat up with a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of butter, and we're gonna saute it. So see you in a few seconds. Alright, so we've got our little skillet heating up. We're going to throw, I don't know, about a little bit of butter into it. And some olive oil. Just let it go around a little bit. Alright, and we are ready for the pasta. The pasta's right here. Boom. Alright. Toss it around a little bit. Now, because we put salt in the water and we salted the water well, we're probably not going to need to add too much salt to the actual pasta. We might be good as we are. Alright, I believe, yeah, that's pretty well coated, so I'm sure you're tired of seeing me flip it. Alright, see you when I plate. Alright, so we're going to plate it now. There's a plate. And it is plated. Got one little bit left in there. Oh, that's fucking hot. Okay, and let's taste. Alright, here we go. That's some good shit. Alright. Next video, I'll break out the gear and do it a different way, using a stand mixer and a pasta rolling machine, like a hand crank one. I don't have the the electronic attachment for the stand mixer. But the hand crank ones, it's good, it's reliable, it's inexpensive, so you know, I like mine. I've had it for like 5-6 years, and it's still going strong. All right, see you guys later. Be safe, have fun, eat well.